evening from Philadelphia and the city of brotherly love. I'm Ed Cohen with the former Chicago Bulls guard Jay Williams. And here on South Broad Street, Jay, the spectrum used to reverberate. You can say the same now for Wells Fargo Center.
And you know what, Ed? All you need is a little bit of patience and a couple of top NBA draft picks, and you find guys like Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid that will forever change the face of your franchise.
These days, it feels like 1983 in South Philly. The opening tip won by the Sixers, and we're underway here in Philadelphia. Sixers finally break through. 52 wins last year. But, Jay, where do they factor in a top-heavy Atlantic division?
I still see this team finishing on the outside looking in. What I mean by outside is the 2 or 3 spot. I think this is Boston's division to lose, Boston's conference to lose. But still, the question marks with Toronto. Kawhi Leonard, does he really want to be there? Changing up their coach. What's going on with that franchise? And the question mark still is around Ben Simmons and his ability to shoot the ball down the stretch.
To Griffin. Johnson. Reggie Jackson rocks the rim.
Oh, that's a great way to make an opening statement. It's about the team that's able to punch the other team in the mouth first. That's exactly what you want to do if you're the road team.
Butler to Embiid. Had a good look there, but it's no good. It's Detroit's ball. Jackson to Griffin. Johnson to Griffin. To Butler. Gets a look. Can't hit.
And that's how you close out on a shooter with a sense of urgency. The shooter was more worried about his landing space than he was his shot.
Knocked loose. Pistons come away with it.
I'm hearing some boos from the crowd. They know just like I know you're not getting back on D.
Jackson to Griffin. To Jackson. Drummond. And the rebound comes down to Johnson. Here's Simmons with it up top. They trail by 2. To Butler. Jimmy Butler. First couple didn't go. That one is true.
There's certain guys in this league that should be put on alert status 24/7 because either they're posterizing you or that attempt can still be a poster.
Jackson to Drummond. And the reward, he's going to the line.
Trust me, you want to avoid early foul trouble. Take that one as a warning.
Reggie Bullock, a couple of free throws on the way. For his career, 79% at the line. Knocks down the first. No good on the second. It's a 1-of-2 trip. Simmons with it. Down a point. Count the bucket for 2.
Big shout out to the athletic trainer for this team. It's obvious you've been doing all the preparation required of your team in the weight room in the offseason. Flex on them a little bit.
To Griffin. Joel Embiid swats it.
Ed, that's light work for a guy with his ability.
And he buries it.
You know what I like about this pass play? Instead of putting his head down and forcing the action, he patiently waited for the play to develop.
Here comes the screen. Nothing going here on that drive. Butler. Shot clock winding down to Butler. Has a chance. Deep 2 there. Won't go. Jackson with it. Leads just a point. To Drummond. The big fella, Andre Drummond. Missed his first. That one goes.
Look, there was barely any contact on that last play. I agree with the ref's no call. Let him play.
Reggie Bullock rejects it.
Oh, he blocked that with authority.
Pistons have it. Screen coming. Stuffs it down with authority. Simply put, can you build a franchise around Blake Griffin right now?
No, not right now. I think he's starting to get to the latter part of his career. I think he could be a key cog in a championship team, but just not the main guy.
They'll go to Butler, down low. Nothing going here on that drive. Simmons, short jumper, won't go down.
And a lot of times in this league, teams take days off. But if this defense keeps maintaining that style of pace defensively, this is going to be a dogfight.
And the slam.
See, Ed, that's what I love. You don't need to conserve your energy. You attack that rim with ferocity. You always set the tone.
Jackson with it. Leads 3 to Griffin. Here comes the screen. That's what you like to see off the pick and roll. Nice, easy basket. Jay, simply put, have we seen Blake Griffin's ceiling?
I think there's a chance that Blake Griffin could potentially be better, but it will be way more difficult when you don't have an elite point guard who can pass the ball and put it for you on a platter each and every possession.
Jackson with it. Up by 3. Griffin. Jay, it's a huge question in Philadelphia. What can Markelle Fultz be in his second NBA season?
He could be a former #1 pick in the NBA draft. He can still be a star. I don't think any of his shooting woes had to do with that shoulder injury last season. It was mental. It was the yips. He's been getting reps this entire summer with that form, with that rhythm. And if he keeps shooting the ball the way I've seen him shoot out in California, this kid could be a star next year.
Griffin to Reggie Jackson. Fine to shoot. He shoots. Oh, off the mark. Philadelphia with the basketball. To Butler. To Simmons. 5 on the shot clock for Philadelphia. Butler. Not going down here. Nice follow-up on the dunk there.
Oh, man, did you see that swiftness? He dunked that thing like a tennis ball.
It looked like that in his hand. Jackson with it. They trail by 1. To Griffin. Jackson. Oh, look out. Blake Griffin. He's 3 of 5. 60% shooting from the field.
Every time I hear Blake's name, I think about what could have been. Yeah, Blake, I miss Lob City too.
Simmons to Butler. Deep right corner. Shot clock's at 5. Down to 4. 24-second violation. Both teams tweaking their lineups. Here come some changes.
Into the game for the Philadelphia 76ers, number 20, Markelle Fultz.
Ish Smith to Griffin. Trying to cash in. Griffin shot off the mark.
Ed, the game is so different. In today's NBA, defenders are longer, quicker, and more athletic than we've ever seen before. So offensively, as a shooter, you either have to be able to create more space off the dribble for your shot or have a much faster release. Ideally, you have both in your arsenal.
The possession in favor of Detroit. Ish Smith to Griffin. To Smith. Shot clock to 4 for the Pistons. Screen coming. Smith.
To number 20, Markelle Fultz. That's his first personal.
Ish Smith is going to get a chance at 3 here. For his career, 66%. And hits the first free throw. He delivers with 2 free throws. And he cashes in at the line. 3 for 3. Butler into the front court. Down 2. Jay, what's the next step for Ben Simmons?
MVP, Ed. To win the MVP. But perception is reality. And I've been hearing this stuff from a lot of people who have been watching Ben Simmons show out this past summer on IG. One will perceive that Ben Simmons has already won a championship when that has not been the case. Ben Simmons needs to get back to the lab, stay in the gym, continue to work on that jump shot, because this is still a team that lost 1-4 to the Celtics without Kyrie Irving and Gordon Hayward.
Now pass stolen by the Sixers.
It's early. Get a good quality shot here.
Fultz to Butler. Markelle Fultz to Butler. Jimmy Butler, now 4 for 9.
It looks like he's using his ball handling to feel the game out. I know it looks like he's just playing around out there trying to get the fans going. That is true, but he's also finding his rhythm.
Griffin to Smith. And he throws it down. Nuclear from Blake Griffin. They have set the tone in this one.
I love when I see offenses come out in beast mode. You attack that paint, you get to the rim, inevitably the floor will open up for you to knock down some threes.
And the 2 for Blake Griffin.
You know, teams usually shoot higher percentages early in the shot clock. Plus, you take away the legs of the defense. You have to dictate the pace.
Embiid to Butler. Fires the 3. Rebounds claimed by Detroit. Ish Smith to Griffin. Kennard to Griffin. Detroit with 4 to shoot. Going to launch beyond the arc. Luke Kennard bothered just enough on that one. Smith with it up top. Down just a couple. To Embiid. Joel Embiid. 3 for 4. Good start.
Now that the process has been established, it's going to be fun to see how much better Joel Embiid can be this season. Everybody heard about his arduous offseason workout program, but the thing I love about him the most, he always works on his game, even if he's dunking on random fans on vacation.
We have both squads set to make some moves right now.
For the Detroit Pistons, number 9. Subbing in.
Ish Smith to Griffin. Knocked loose. Joel Embiid pins it. Second block in this quarter. Luke Kennard sizing up Butler to Griffin. 5 seconds to shoot. Griffin. Can't get the bounce. Fultz with the basketball. Looking to make something happen. Gets to the basket and scores.
I don't know if the scouting report has made its way out here yet, but if anything, it says you need to not let him get that close to the rim.
Pistons ball here. Ish Smith to Griffin. Great defense there, forcing the pickup. Surveys the floor. He wants to deliver. Down low for Griffin. Short jumper won't fall. to Fultz. Butler. No good. Defense catching a break there. Ish Smith. Lets it fly from beyond the arc. Johnson with the rebound. "19-footer at the buzzer. Knocks it down off the step back. Long heave from three-quarters court. We're through one at Wells Fargo Center with the Sixers on top. Jay and I back with more after this. It's NBA Monday on EA Sports. One quarter down. Neither side really distinguished itself. Jay, what stood out?
And we're exceeding the speed limit. These guys are playing fast, and the thing I love about it the most, there's entertainment in this game. Guys are looking away after they shoot the ball. Guys are clapping. Guys are energetic. This is why you love this sport.
To Luke Kennard. Has a look. Hand in his face, still hits. You don't see that very often.
I 100% guarantee you that was not the play call, but a bucket is a bucket.
Fultz to Simmons. To Fultz. Shot from the lane won't go.
Yo, big kudos to the defender. It seems like the mere presence of him in the paint was enough to throw off the concentration of the guy trying to drop the layup in.
Sixers have the basketball. McConnell to Fultz. Screen coming.
Come on, you gotta work around the screen. You killing me.
Markelle Fultz. With the fadeaway. Burns him for the basket.
There you go, finally. Shoot your shot.
To Smith. Nothing going here on that drive. Smith. And knocks it down. Jay, the defender, tough to gamble that time beyond the arc.
And in today's game, you have to make shots like that. Nice work draining it from deep.
Fultz into the front court. Down by one. To Simmons. Curling inside. Gets a look. Can't hit. To Luke Kennard. Now ready with a couple of free throws.
I don't know about that one, Ed. I always thought your hand was part of the ball.
Luke Kennard at the line for 2 shots. A career 85% free throw shooter. First free throw is good.
Philadelphia entering the game.
Goes 2 for 2 at the line. Fultz with the basketball. Down 3. Here comes the screen. Gets to the basket, but it's no good. Easy pass to the rim.
There you go. I like seeing his scoring coming from unlikely sources.
Sixers control it. Fultz to Butler. Screen coming. Butler. Drummond, huge block.
That kid can block out the sun, Ed.
From the painted area, won't go down. To Drummond. Into the front court comes Smith. 5-point game. Markelle Fultz calls out of bounds. Last touch by Markelle Fultz. New blood coming in for both sides. Right now, the Pistons have the basketball. Jose Calderon sizing up Butler. The screen sets him up for two.
I wasn't necessarily sure which way that PNR was going, but I guess neither was the defense. That makes two of us.
Sixers call for time, as they'll take a moment to go over things here in the second quarter. Drummond able to recover with the block.
Just erasing mistakes left and right.
To Smith.
Screen coming your way. Screen coming your way.
To Luke Kennard.
Right.
They've slowed down the pace. Now 3 on the shot clock. Griffin's shot won't go. Fultz into the front court. They trail by 7. To Butler. And the nice finish at the rim.
I've seen him float so much on the perimeter, I forgot he even had that kind of physical presence. Good to see him beating up on people down low again.
Fultz to Embiid. Joel Embiid. He's now 4 for 6.
Joel Embiid looking to take his game to a completely different level after working out with one of the best trainers in the league this offseason. An all-star for the first time last year, averaging 23 points. Safe to say, no longer trust the process. Joel Embiid is the process.
Oh, he had it. Fultz with the basketball. Right now, down 7. Down to Chandler. No, I missed a short one there. Ish Smith to Griffin. Jay, he commands the paint this time down.
Well, he finished strong because he was able to initiate the contact. When you initiate the contact first, you bounce off the defender, which balances you at the rim.
Hey, big screen right there, big screen.
Butler to Embiid. Rebound Drummond. To Smith.
I got him.
Here comes the screen. Kennard. Gets it in the left corner to Luke Kennard. Down to 5 on the 24. Kennard shot off the mark. Joel Embiid tips it. That's his third block this evening.
That's why a rim protector is a necessity in this game.
And scores.
Ed, sometimes less is more. Keeping it simple is the best way.
Whistle stops play, and we'll get a timeout here for Detroit as they'll talk things over here in the second quarter.
Team shops, including the fan favorite throwback jerseys. Get one for yourself before they're all gone.
Time to adjust. Both coaches making changes on the floor.
Entering the game
To Smith.
for the Philadelphia 76ers, number 12.
Goes to the left side. Griffin to Smith. To Griffin. Has a chance. Shot no good there for Griffin. The follow won't go either. To Butler. Here's the whistle. 5 seconds. Back to the basket. Violation sends it the other way. Substitution being made in this one.
For the Detroit Pistons, number 1, Reggie Jackson. At number 25, Reggie Bullock.
Jackson to Smith. It was right there. To Butler. A bad pass as the Pistons come away with it.
That's called game plan execution to perfection. Every possession on the road is critical.
Here comes the screen.
Screen left, screen left.
Wilson Chandler with a piece. Out of bounds, last touch by the Pistons. Shifting gears, here comes some substitutions. Simmons. That one off the mark. It's no good. Jackson with it. His team up by 7. Reggie Jackson. He is shooting well. He's made 2/3 of his shots.
That's what I'm talking about, Ed. It's that simple. Put the ball in the bucket.
It's in the hands of Philadelphia. Nothing going here on that drive. Off the penetration, almost, but no good. The follow won't go either. Jackson with it. It's a 9-point lead. Screen coming. Jackson gets it in the right corner. To Jackson. Shot by Smith off the mark. Simmons with it. 9-point margin. To Embiid. Pass stolen by Detroit.
You go back to the principles, things that we started working on when we were in 1st and 2nd grade. Is called the shell drill. You stay down in the stance defensively, you try to deny the next pass away, and you have to communicate. If your conditioning is bad, you have no chance. But if you're able to do all these things together, collectively, you will be able to stop a great passing team.
Simmons. Here comes the screen. Lets it fly from long range. Count the triple.
Man, you making people dance out there? I see you with the footwork.
Ish Smith. To Griffin. Here comes the screen. Griffin. Shot clock to 4 for the Pistons. Reggie Jackson. That's 3 now on 4 shots.
You see, you can't actually get mesmerized by the ball. You actually have to focus on the dribbler's belly button. I know that may sound cheesy, but trust me, he can't go anywhere without his core.
Simmons. And count the basket inside.
Oh, don't see the read, be the read.
Now their head coach signals for a timeout. He'll get his guys together and talk things over. Looks like both teams are making substitutions.
Our thanks go to those who have already participated in this community event. Into the game for the Pistons, number 7.
Reggie Jackson. Terrific shooting. He's 4 for 5.
No doubt about where that one was headed.
Fultz into the front court. Margins 8. Here comes the screen.
1 minute remaining in the second quarter.
Knocked loose. Pistons have it. Right time, right player.
Can't teach height.
Philadelphia with the basketball. Here comes the screen. Sizing up the defense. Shot from the lane won't go. Another follow, no good.
Because he had no body control. You have to be able to control your body when you attack the rim at full speed. That's part of your concentration. People assume concentration just on the rim, but your body control is everything. Be able to speed yourself up or slow yourself down.
Griffin to Smith.
Turn on your right. On your right. Watch that back door.
Ish Smith. Tough shooting. Only 2 for 6 after that make. He'll let one fly from half court. First half comes to an end. The Pistons with a nice advantage.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jalen Rose, and this is your EA Sports Halftime Report. The Pistons will start the second half with a decent lead. It was their playmaking, the way they gave each other scoring opportunities. That really impresses me. I love seeing unselfish basketball like that. Have a look at the leading scorers for the Detroit Pistons. The 76ers have dug themselves a bit of a hole after 2 quarters. They've got the break to figure some things out. And trust me, they've got a few things to figure out. Still, it's not like they're totally out of this game. These are the guys getting buckets for the Philadelphia 76ers.
Game track. Bench points.
The Philadelphia 76ers were not given a chance to relax in that opening half. Even when the starters were on the bench, the reserves were maintaining the lead and earning their playing time.
Player of the half.
Blake Griffin was lighting up the scoreboard in the first half, and I'm not sure the defense will be able to figure out what it'll take to slow him down. He looks like he's in a zone.
Who was cold?
Every player that makes it to the NBA is a great athlete, but even the best players have off nights. Today has just been one of those nights for this guy. Here we go with the top plays from the first half.
Number 2. Number 1.
Thanks for joining us for the halftime report. The second half is about to get started.
It's Detroit's ball. Jackson. Probing the defense to Stanley Johnson. Detroit with 4 to shoot to Reggie Jackson. 4-3. Not that time. To Embiid. Joel Embiid. With that, he's 5 for 9.
Can we take a second to talk about the most gregarious personality in the NBA? We don't trust in the process. No. We're beyond the process. Joel Embiid has emerged as this generation's Shaquille O'Neal, and he's done it in a variety of ways. He's a dominant big who doesn't shy away from the physicality of the game. Probably the reason why he was up for Defensive Player of the Year. And also, he has a personality that baits you into a conversation whether you like it or not, and he's pretty hysterical. This kid is going to be a star in the league for years to come, and you better pay attention to what he has to put down.
Embiid to Simmons. Gets a shot up off the mark. Ish Smith. To Stanley Johnson. Reggie Jackson, not that time.
And when you miss so many chippies right around the rim, you look at their points in the paint production. The first half, they were great. Second half, not so much.
Simmons. Not that time. Jackson with it. His team on top by 8. Cleans it up. Offensive board. Jimmy Butler with the block. They've got it now.
Blocking so many shots only gives your perimeter that much more confidence to really apply more pressure.
Simmons to Butler. Here comes the screen. To Simmons. The Sixers with 4 to shoot. Jimmy Butler for 2. Add 2 points to the board. There's a toughness he learned under Tibbs at 2 stops, and no question, that rubs off on younger players.
There is something that Jimmy Butler does that no other player in the NBA does. He gets into your psyche. He gets into your head each and every possession. He enjoys the process of the fight. Every single blow. There is a pleasure in the pain.
Shot from in close, no good. To Butler. Can't connect. Nice follow-up on the dunk there.
Defenders had no chance on that one. That's why we call it the elite tier.
Jackson with it. They lead it. 4-point game. To Smith. Here comes the screen. Ish Smith. Tough matchup against Butler. From long range. Good closeout, but Ish Smith still knocks it down.
Even though the coach initially may not like that shot, now he's clapping because that ball went in.
Simmons into the front court. The margin standing now at 7. To Embiid. Collected by Drummond. Pistons have it. Jackson to Smith. And abuses the rim. Big finish for Andre Drummond.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice finish. It's all business.
Into the front court comes Simmons. His guys down by 9. Embiid to Butler. Embiid to Butler. Off the assist.
There's no better feeling after a game after you had 25-plus assists and you won the game and everybody recognizes that it's time for their bank accounts to get rewarded.
Here comes the screen. Ish Smith to Drummond. From the painted area, won't go down. Here's Simmons with it up top. Right now, down 7. To Embiid. Missed a wide open look. Ish Smith to Jackson. Here comes the screen. Ish Smith to Drummond. The big fella, Andre Drummond. Not looking pretty. 3 for 10. Now a whistle and a timeout for Philadelphia as their coaching staff wants to talk things over here in this third quarter.
Hey fans, have you seen the latest items in our silent auction? Have a look for yourself at the display behind section 121 and place your bid. Don't miss your chance at some excellent memorabilia.
Changes coming from both sides right now.
Number 23, Blake Griffin.
Simmons to Butler. To Simmons. That's no good. Ish Smith, defended by Patton. To Drummond. Old school. Backs his man down for the basket.
Old school equals high percentage.
Sixers have the basketball. Knocked loose. Out of bounds. Last touch by the Pistons. So possession stays with Philadelphia. Both coaches hitting the reset button. Fresh legs coming onto the floor.
Entering the game for the Detroit Pistons, number 1, Reggie Jackson.
Shot clock, it's coming down to 4. Now down to 3. Jackson with it. The lead is 11. Now a steal by Philly. To Fultz. Finishing inside the paint on that one.
It's really a dope thing when passing becomes infectious. But don't become overly passive. Still take your shots when they're there.
Jackson down to Griffin. Knocked loose. Taken by the Sixers. Andre Drummond snatching it out of the air. The possession in favor of Detroit. And he throws it down. Nuclear from Blake Griffin.
See, Ed, that's what I love. You don't need to conserve your energy. You attack that rim with ferocity. You always set the tone.
Markelle Fultz. Nothing going here on that drive. To Fultz. Pistons come away with it. Reggie Jackson. With that shot, he's 5 for 8.
Hey, one of the things I hear all the great teams say in the huddle, they say 1, 2, 3, no mercy. Now it's time for you to go even harder on the defensive end.
And hits at the line. Some lineup changes now for both clubs.
Philadelphia, number 12.
Fultz. No good. Pistons ball here. To Luke Kennard. Deep left corner. Kennard to Smith. Beyond the arc for 3. Rebound taken by the Sixers. Another chance. And the rebound comes down to Smith. Amir Johnson sends it away. It's theirs now.
This game is all about playing mind tricks on people. The offense is more worried about getting their shot blocked than they are about actually making the shot.
Is Smith. A bad pass as the Sixers come up with the steal. To Fultz. Yes, and the foul. And a chance at 3 coming up.
And I love the smile on the face of the offensive player. Sometimes luck is on your side. I don't know how that shot went in, but and one.
Markelle Fultz at the line for a chance at a 3-point play. A career 47% free throw shooter. And he misses that one free throw. To Luke Kennard. Amir Johnson sends it away.
Here's one of the biggest secrets as we move into this new age of basketball, especially in the draft room. You have to draft players with size and length. That's the biggest deterrent for any team offensively.
Sixers finally break through. 52 wins last year. But, Jay, where do they factor in a top-heavy Atlantic division?
I still see this team finishing on the outside looking in. What I mean by outside is the 2 or 3 spot. I think this is Boston's division to lose, Boston's conference to lose. But still, the question marks with Toronto. Kawhi Leonard doesn't really want to be there, changing up their coach. What's going on with that franchise? And the question mark still is around Ben Simmons and his ability to shoot the ball down the stretch.
Here comes the screen. To Smith. It's a big finish.
I don't think I could do that on a 5-foot rim.
I can, because that's my only choice. Fultz with the basketball. His guys trail by 10. McConnell to Fultz. Doesn't have the touch. No good.
Oh, I see how you're playing this chess match. That's what you keep doing defensively. Keep baiting him and luring him into shooting that jump shot. Exploit him.
To Drummond. Shot from the lane won't go. Not that time. Nice touch around the basket with the tip.
You know, I'm going to say something that people probably won't like, but guess what? I don't care. I'm already crowning Ben Simmons as a top 5 playmaker in the league. His first true season, he had 18 points, 8 assists, and 8 rebounds. He could finish around the rim and make everybody else around him look great. There's no doubt about it. He has all the ingredients to be the heir to the throne.
Finish that. To McConnell. To Fultz. Here's a chance from long range. Markelle Fultz forcing that one there. Well defended. Deep 3 at the buzzer. That ends the 3rd quarter. The Pistons with the lead. It's been a compelling game so far. The 4th quarter is underway. Sixers control it. McConnell to Simmons. Nothing going here on that drive. Markelle Fultz to McConnell. Here comes the screen. 5 on the shot clock. Shot by Fultz, no good.
It's so important to instill confidence in your best player. I know he missed a shot earlier, but that doesn't mean that you can't run the same exact play and let him prove he's the player he thinks he is, and we all know he is.
Trying to cash in. Can't connect. Not the best shot with the defender right there. To Simmons. Turns and slams it down.
And when you get your prescription, you take your medicine and you call it a day.
To Stanley Johnson. Ben Simmons swats it.
You know why? I don't see anybody on the defensive end standing up out of position. I see everybody squatted down, really active with their hands. That's the mentality that will lead you to where you want to go.
Cashes in for 2.
I'm not sure that wasn't an offensive foul, but take it when you can get it.
Right now, the Pistons have the basketball. To Stanley Johnson. Jose Calderon matched up with Patton. Shot clock to 4 for the Pistons. For 3. Misfires. It's no good.
Just because you're an elite shooter doesn't mean you need to shoot the ball every possession. Maybe give a head fake, crack into the defender, get to the free throw line, see the ball go in the hole.
Oops, he missed the first one. No good on the first, no good on the second. 0 for 2. Count the basket inside.
That might have been a little bit easier than expected there, considering the score.
Here comes the screen. Detroit with 4 to shoot is Smith to Stanley Johnson. Smith buries it on the catch and shoot.
Just because someone is listening to you doesn't mean that they actually hear you. At the end of the game, when players get tired, they listen to what the assignment was, but they didn't hear what it was.
To Smith. To Stanley Johnson. Down to 5. Down to 4 to shoot. Rebound cleared by Philly. McConnell to Butler. A bad pass as the Pistons come away with it.
Tonight, it may not cost you, but in a playoff game, it will.
Is Smith. To Drummond. Tough-looking shot there. Still gets it to go down.
You know, Ed, as a player, when I was younger, there were certain guys that you just never went around on the court. You know, the ones that just threw those random elbows, smothered you with their physicality on the block. That's Andre Drummond, the guy who leads the league in rebounding.
Wide open look, won't go. Butler to bring it up. The margin standing now at 7. Goes to the right side. To Butler. Pass stolen by Detroit. Sixers have it. McConnell. To Butler. Nothing going here on that drive. Here comes the screen. And Jimmy Butler. Deep 2 there. Won't go. Stanley Johnson, guarded by Jimmy Butler. Goes to the left side. To Smith. Has a look. The screen sets him up for 2.
Ooh, cool, calm, and collective. The 3 C's. His handles are effortless.
Sixers call for time as they'll talk things over here in this 4th quarter.
The best basketball. And I know I'm saying this and I shouldn't be saying it because I'm calling the broadcast, but as a player and a fan, you know you tune in to the 4th. This is where guys earn their paychecks. This is where you see real fight and real hustle.
Both coaches dipping into their reserves. Changes coming onto the floor. Layup goes down. Well done.
You know, Jimmy Buckets really has an inspiring story. From being homeless at the age of 13 before moving in with a friend, reads like a basketball version of The Blind Side. That grit has become the fabric of his DNA. From Tyler Junior College to Marquette to the 30th pick in the first round. Are you kidding me? To where he is now, Jimmy Buckets has had to earn every inch that this game has given him.
Now a pass stolen by the Sixers. Butler for two. Off the mark. Right down Broadway for the two. Defender has to pick him up.
Might have had an extra dribble or two there, but he got the shot he wanted.
Butler. Has a chance. The shot by Butler, no. To Stanley Johnson. Oh, great defense there, forcing the pickup. Johnson to Smith. Fires the three, and the rebound corralled by Johnson. Knocked loose. Pistons have it. Fires the three. Gets it to go. Coach cannot be happy with that closeout.
Ooh, that confidence level is so superior. Whenever you start jogging back on defense before the ball even goes through the net, that speaks for itself.
To Butler. Nothing going here on that drive. Screen coming. Butler. To Embiid. Rises for the slam.
That's the intensity you need to see. Whenever a player running back on defense after a dunk like that holds the inside of his forearm, it lets you know how hard he dunked that basketball.
Is Smith matched up with Jimmy Butler. Now a steal by Philly. Count the basket. A lot of contact. No foul.
Ed, I have a rule. If you're 6'9" or taller, I don't want to see you jelly it. I don't want to see any kind of weird spin or English on the ball. Just dunk it. Keep it simple, please.
Mixing things up. Hockey line substitutions. Both teams making changes. Jose Calderon sizing up Butler. Jackson. Shot clock to 4 for the Pistons. To Griffin. Going to launch beyond the arc. It's no good. Shot's not going down. Fultz into the front court. His club staring up at an 8-point deficit. To Butler. Here comes the screen. Driving right to the basket. Oh, straight down the middle for 2.
When the ball's in his hands, we all knew what was going to happen.
It's Detroit's ball. Jackson to Griffin. Screen coming. Griffin. Lets it fly from beyond the arc. Whistled for the foul. chance coming up at the free throw line. Jose Calderon. He's going to get 3 shots here. A career 87% from the line. First one, count it. Knocks down the second free throw. Perfect from the line. It's all 3 of them. Simmons with it. His guys down by 9. To Fultz. Simmons. Deep right corner. To Simmons. Lets it fly from long range. That's off the side of the rim. No good. Jackson with it. The lead stands at 9. The pass set it all up.
Well, we got a chance to firsthand watch something be created. I think we just watched an epidemic of passing. I've never seen something like this before. It was so contagious, everybody started to do it, and it ultimately led to the other team's demise.
If that's an epidemic, sign me up.
The assist from number 22, Wilson Chandler.
Pistons have it. Screen coming. Nothing going here on that drive.
2 minutes remaining.
Short jumper won't fall. Simmons with it. His team down 9. Trying to cash in. Gets a look. Can't hit. To Reggie Jackson. The drive right to the basket. Off the mark. He loves the tough shots, but that one may be too tough. Simmons into the front court. 9-point margin. Has a look. The shot by Simmons won't go down. Jackson with it. He'll run the offense. To Griffin. Jackson. Down to 5 on the 24. 4-3. That's off the side of the rim. Short.
Shooters shoot. Period. I don't want to hear any excuses. That's why you're on the floor. You keep doing what you're doing with that superior confidence.
Shot from the lane won't go. Gets it in the right corner. Finishing inside the paint on that one.
Clearly not afraid of the spotlight here because that was not an easy look.
Fultz to Embiid. Simmons to Embiid. Here comes the screen. Count the basket, and it could have been more. No whistle. Now the Pistons going to use a timeout. It's their first of the final 3 minutes. That leaves them with one more chance to stop the clock before the buzzer sounds. Both teams tweaking their lineups. Here come some changes.
Number 23, Jimmy Butler. Entering the game for the Detroit Pistons. Number 9.
The Pistons are the winners as they get a good win on the road. For Jay Williams and all our crew, I'm Ed Cohen saying so long for now. This has been a presentation of the NBA on EA Sports.
Here, and I've got your EA Sports post-game wrap-up. The Pistons got the win in a nail-biter. You ask me, and I'll tell you, it was the ball movement that made all the difference. There's something to be said for a team that can win as a group, and that's what happened here today. Check out the leading scores for the Detroit Pistons. The 76ers. Lost a tight one today, and you can see the disappointment. They did a great job with their ball movement, forcing the defense to constantly make adjustments. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough for the win. Check out the leading scores for the Philadelphia 76ers.
Game track. Field goals.
From an offensive standpoint, this was a quality game. The same can't be said for the defense. But still, it turned out to be an entertaining matchup.
Player of the game.
Andre Drummond could not have been more impressive in this game. The way he scored the basketball looked like he was playing with kids in high school.
Who was gold?
This isn't the segment you want to be in, of course. But even the best players find their way into this part of the show. These are the top plays of the game.
Number 2. Number 1.
Take a look at the upcoming games for the Philadelphia 76ers. On behalf of ESPN on EA Sports, I'm Jalen Rose, and it's been our pleasure to present you with some NBA basketball.